Ethan, full? Nice. All right. So, it's currently 2 p.m. and I have a very interesting speaker to introduce to everyone. He's currently with Kerja and he's gonna talk about how we can use Agile to build our career. If you're interested to anything related, if it piques your interest, do drop by the speaker booth. We have more than enough seats to accommodate to everyone. Do drop by, and without further ado, let me introduce you.
Hey, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris, for the warm welcome. Thank you for having me over. Thank you for inviting me to Highly the Awesome Career Fair. So we are at the tail end of the career fair. We'll be ending in a few hours. So hopefully everyone, you guys are having a wonderful time engaging recruiters, having conversations, adding value, learning more about your dream jobs. And until the end of the day, hopefully you guys are able to make a positive experience during this career fair. So first, let me introduce myself, everyone. And also people tuning in, thank you for dropping by. Okay, hello everyone, I'm Azmil, and I'm a HR practitioner. I'm the Talent Management Manager at the Talent Strategy and Development Department in Malaysia Airports. If I were to have an avatar in the metaverse, that avatar would probably look like this, I guess. And you know, because we're doing this metaverse style, I figure why not I just include my avatar inside. I specialize in L&D and talent management. To put simply, L&D is training lah. Talent management, on the other hand, is where you manage and identify talent within your organization to equip them further for better growth and enable them to drive the company forward. So when we talk about talent in the sense of talent management context, most organizations, they have different definition, but usually they revolve around a specific talent. They are usually either successors, high performers, high potential employees. They could also be young people like management trainee, as well as scholars. And these people, they need individualized development plan. They need a custom-made plan for us to be able to enable them for growth. Let's face it, when we talk about talent, yeah, these high performers, high potentials, they have different needs. Their learning agility is also different. They have different learning curve. If we do not somehow come up with a custom-made or individualized development plan for these people, it is likely that they will get disengaged. It is likely that they will get bored within the company and probably leave the company. Sedangkan, we wanted these people to drive the company forward. The Pareto rules, the 80-20 rule says, your top 20 talent usually will drive or generate the 80% of revenue or value creation in your company. So that's why we need to also focus on the talent. So basically, that's my 9 to 5, my day-to-day job. However, I also have a 5 to 9, so to speak. I am also a content creator. So I have this TikTok channel called Kerja, where I post and publish content related to HR matters, career development, workplace attire, and any other things related to the employment landscape. A lot of my sharing today will be revolving around my 5 to 9 bit. I will be sharing with you how I got started with TikTok, my journey, a little bit of success stories, as well as setbacks that I faced. I'm not just here to, talk, sing song. I will also share with you my humbling experiences doing TikTok And all of this sharing will somehow tie back to to an overarching theme lah. And that theme would be the title of my talk today, which is using Agile to build your career. So let's start with how I began my journey on TikTok lah. So I started publishing content on Kerja on the 1st January 2021. I started doing it after I went through a very depressing 2020. When the pandemic hit, all sorts of trouble occurred, especially in the employment landscape. We have people being laid off, people being retrenched, people having issue at the workplace with their bosses, vice versa, bosses also having issues with their employees and staff, and they simply do not know how to navigate or solve the problem. And I figure, why not I came up with a one-stop content platform where I can try to publish content related to their employment qualms and help people navigate through these challenges or difficulties. Fast forward 2 years later, Kerja has grown to almost 400,000 communities. I say almost because we are short about 2K. So if you haven't followed me yet, please follow me. Let's get to 400K. So there's 3 reasons why I basically TikTok exclusive. I almost instantly post exclusive on TikTok for a reason. Okay, I do not have any other social media. So simply why TikTok I like? Because first, it provided me with an avenue for escapism. When the pandemic hit in 2020, TikTok was my go-to platform to escape from the depressing state that we were living in. You know, there's a lot of trends happening, a lot of things happening. You have Dalgona challenge, we have this and that challenge, we have bored at home challenge, and I simply jumped on the bandwagon. So that was how I used TikTok to somehow escape from the problem that we were facing back then. But when Kerja come into the picture, it somehow got elevated to a different perspective. It has somehow elevated to an avenue for me to express my creativity, an avenue for me to express my freedom in terms of what should I put out to the world. So when I say what I need to put out to the world, basically my content on Kerja. I get to put out an idea. I get to put out a thought or something for the people to consume or digest. And I simply get to test that idea. When I put something out, TikTok has this algorithm. If it senses that your content is good, it will push your content to the rest of the population. And I think that's how I got my break. That's how I got my luck. Growing my TikTok organically to 400K followers. So basically, when I put something out, I get to know whether people like it or don't. I get to build from it. Doesn't matter if it is good, I will build from what's good. But if it sucks, I will simply remove what doesn't work and tweak and change and amend accordingly until I found the perfect formula that can be translated into content for other people to consume. So that's how I get to learn quickly. So that's content-wise, but also as personal-wise, my development or growth as a HR practitioner also got accelerated. When you post something out, you know how HR is very intricate. It has very, very multiple layers and facets. Sometimes you may miss critical information in your content, or sometimes you are painstakingly, plainly wrong. There are other HR practitioners coming in to add value to the discussion, or sometimes they just come in and correct me when I'm wrong. So as a person, as an individual, that also somehow has accelerated my growth. Now, going back to learning what works and what doesn't. If you are in L&D, you probably have come across this term. We call it bite-sized learning. This is why I love TikTok, because it enables me to produce bite-sized learning so that people can learn at a very digestible, easy to consume pace. The more you are able to make people learn passively, the more good your bite-sized learning is. So it has enabled me to produce very, very small chunk of content for people to consume. Imagine if I were to do a content for 1 hour or 30 minutes. 30 minutes is already a hassle. Okay? You put energy, time, resources in making 30 minutes, 1 hour content, only to find that it sucks. That probably put a blow to your motivation. In this age of instant gratification, I probably would have given up. But that's not the case when it comes to TikTok. Because you only post 30-second video, 1 minute video, you don't feel as demotivated when the content doesn't work. It is akin to building blocks of Lego. Okay, let's say you need to build Legos. You put one pieces on top of another, one pieces on top of another, only to find out that it is the wrong way, or that is not something that people want, or something that your bosses want. So you have to break all Legos chunk and start all over again. Going back to bite-sized learning, there's a different approach. Let's say you start with a piece of block, and then you test it out. You see how people react to it, what's the feedback. If it's okay, you build another piece of block. Then you test it again. If it's not okay, you remove that piece of block, you change it with another block, or you move the position of the Lego and test it again. Test and test and test and test until you find that secret formula, or until you find what works for you. If we were to, talk jargons or bring corporate lingo into the mix, okay, if you're in project management or if you're in software development, you are probably familiar. You have probably come across this term. We call it Agile and iteration. So that's basically what describes whatever that I have been saying earlier. Put something, a very incremental changes, test it out. If it doesn't work, make changes, and then on and on and on you go until you find what works for you. So I have laid out the context. I have laid out the framework. Let's try to bring this into career development mindset. So when we talk about career development, either in job seeking, either at work, we can simply apply this learning or this framework into our deliverables, into whatever expected from us. So let's say in the context of finding job or seeking for employment, a sample of iteration could be, should we include photo or not in our resume? So that could be one iteration. Maybe at first, you do not include photo. And then see how people respond to it. And then you change it up, you mix it up, you include pula photo in your resume. And then see how does it helps you or hurt you. Again, I always stress this when it comes to job application. If it helps you, you include it. If it hurt you, you don't include it. You omit it entirely. So that is a sample of iteration that we could do. Another one would be frequently asked question during interviews. After you go for an interview, you probably would have guessed, a few questions that might be keep on appearing during your session. So you can always mix it up, change it up, your answer to see which one works best for you. Again, following up with recruiters, sometimes we get ghosted by recruiters. Maybe the way we email or the way we message them or the way we make our telephone call to recruiters is wrong. So you simply change it up. Maybe in your email you simple small thing like for example, I'm giving you an example. Maybe you did not put title, Mr. And then the next time you try, put Mr. Small stuff like that could probably make the difference between recruiter replying to you or not. So that's why I said, keep on producing many iteration, many version of your deliverables or tasks until you find the perfect formula that works for you. And again, I need to reiterate, works for you. We as human beings, we are unique. Sometimes what works with others probably wouldn't work with you. So that's why we need to try out. Keep on trying something new. Keep on failing fast. That's a term. Fail fast so that you can learn fast and make changes accordingly. The same goes to at work. Sometimes when we work, when we interact with our bosses, or if we operate in a very complex environment, sometimes you don't even know what is the end game or what is required of you. Sometimes you don't know what is the final product. You just do, right? So having that mindset of reiterating and also changing it up, practicing Agile, you'll be able to adapt to the ever-changing expectation from your bosses, from your customers, from recruiters, from hiring managers. And that is probably the most important thing at work, yeah? You need to be able to be agile and change and react to those changes. React is one thing, anticipating is another. If you are able to anticipate those changes, even more better. So I am at the last slide. So the key takeaways here is to generate iteration of sprints. Like I said, we have a lot of sprints, but you do it differently to find what works for you and what doesn't. Fail fast, make incremental change. You don't make big changes only to find that it doesn't work or only to find that it sucks. Because that would be really, really demotivating for you. You make small changes and you quickly fail as soon as possible so that you can make the changes needed. Same goes at work. Okay, especially if you are working in a very ambiguous situation, your boss also doesn't know what he or she wanted, right? You do one small bit of pieces of work, and then you show, is this what you want? Then you build on top of it, like the Lego analogy. So until you come up or until you reach that full destination, or probably what is it that you ever wanted lah. Okay, keep on iterating, keep on sprinting. This is not something that stops. This is something that you have to do over and over and over again. For example, your resume, even though your resume has worked well for you in the past, landed you a job, but you still need to change. You still need to update your resume. The same thing when it comes to new skills or new tech. Keep on updating whenever there's something new. For example, now ChatGPT is the hot items, the hot things that are happening right now. So keep on updating, keep on integrating new knowledge with our existing knowledge and build from there. And lastly, okay, I think this is the most important one. Okay, lastly, have a bias for action as opposed of inaction. I've told you earlier that I have been in talent management. Okay, my specialty in talent management, it is almost a decade in talent management. I have dealt with high performance, high potential on a daily basis. There are one common trait among hypos, high performance. It is not where they study. It is not whether they come from a rural area or urban area. It is not whether they are good at talking or not. But it is that bias for action. So bias of action ni macam ni. To put simply, they have a mindset of just do. I just do. If it works, good. If it doesn't work, I iterate again. I make the necessary changes. So these are what are the common traits that high performers have in any organization. Sometimes that bias for action might get them into trouble. Yeah, because, of course, when you do something, especially when you are venturing into something of the unknown, you are operating in an ambiguous environment, sometimes that biasness for action might get you into trouble. Okay, your boss might say, why did you do this? Now it blew up in our faces. But most of the time, it is better to be in trouble because of you do something than to be in trouble because of you do not do anything. So I think that's it. Thank you so much, everyone. I am Azmil, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Azmil, for the very inspiring speech about your career and everything, and also how you translate what you do as your day job into your content creation as well. Thank you so much. I think a lot of us can learn a lot from Azmil. So yeah. But before you go, I have a bit of a token of appreciation to give you. So what I have in my hands here are car stickers.
Okay.
All right, made by our beautiful and amazing marketing team. So right, there are two quotes that might relate to maybe most of us as employees, employers, workers, and in general. I'm gonna read them to you,
Okay.
and then you can choose one of them, whichever that relates to you the most, lah. All right?
Okay, sure.
Okay, sure.
Read them.
So how the first one goes? 20% of my job is driving to the office.
Okay.
Yeah, it relates to some of us because like morning jam, come back, jam, everything. That's like 20% of your day there. I don't
Sometimes
know.
can be more.
Yeah, exactly. If you get stuck on the traffic, if you stay far away from the office, travel in any sense. And the second one is stop. I don't get paid enough to fix my car, so please don't knock my car. So yeah, so these are two amazing car stickers done by our marketing team. Which one do you think relates? Or
The first one.
the first one?
The first one.
20% of your job is driving to your office?
Yep.
There you go.
Thank you, thank you, thank
All
you so
right.
much.
So thank you so much, Azmil, for the inspiring speech, and thank you everyone for here. Can I give another round of applause to Azmil?
Thank you, thank you.
All right. So thank you so much. Azmil has been an amazing speaker. But we still have a couple of speakers lined up throughout the day. In the meantime, do walk around, engage with speakers, and also talk to all the employers. Amazing booths all around. And if you are interested in Hirely itself, we are also hiring. So do go around, and I'll see you guys again later with another speaker with another interesting topic. Thank you.